Today on Beyond. This baby hasn't stopped crying since the day he was born. Can this baby whisperer get him to finally stop? But first, LaTanya and Tracy are half-sisters embroiled in a long family feud. Their father was their saving grace and only connection.
I never ever really want to ever argue with my father because I love him too much to argue with him.
He's my Superman. There's really not too many things that he couldn't do.
Then, tragically, he was killed in a freak accident when a whale smashed his boat, crushing him. His death removed all decent restraint on the bitter family battle.
You know, I just feel so unwanted and so unwelcome when I'm there, you know, around in the house, on the holidays and stuff. And who wants to be somewhere where you don't feel welcome or comfortable?
Even though I've had a great life, yes, you know, I've had a lot of things a lot of kids haven't had, and I'm sorry that she hasn't, but I'm not, you know, I haven't been given everything. I haven't been just thrown everything.
You know how family's supposed to do is love each other, you know, when someone passed like that. And I just felt they just was just cold. They're just cold. That's the word for it, cold.
The argument deals with a lot of finance, and not all the time do I feel should a relationship suffer because of finance.
Forget the money, forget all that. I just want a relationship, my dad to love me and be there when I need him to be there too the most. And all I ever wanted just to be close to the family and be part of the family.
Using his extraordinary psychic ability to communicate with spirits, he's transformed lives by unlocking mysteries and sharing secrets from the other side. James Van Praagh, best-selling author, renowned medium, and your connection to the world beyond.
Hi, you're Tracy. Yes, nice to meet you. And you're LaTanya? Yes, nice to meet you, LaTanya. Nice to meet you too. And your dad passed over just recently, you say, yeah? Just
yes.
recently. Mm-hmm. And it's caused some kind of a rift between the two of you, and is that right?
Well, not basically between us two,
but the family maybe,
yeah.
Stuff like that. So maybe this will help if you can come through to help with that situation. I hope so. I hope so. But your father's standing behind you, Tracy, and it's all going to be about a pickup truck, okay? So what does that mean?
A white pickup truck.
Yeah.
Exactly. What does that mean?
He has a couple, so that's
okay, so he owned the pickup truck, or has a pickup truck.
Yeah.
And after he died, he had to go to someone, or there's talk about, I hear you, there's talk about moving his things around, or what to do with some of his things, okay? Hold on. I want to go to two different places here, by the way, and I don't know if there are two different cities that we're talking about here, in regard to your daddy, right? Because he's telling me two different cities, okay?
Yes. He has ties to Bakersfield and Morro Bay.
Bakersfield and
Morro Bay. He's talking to me about two different cities of his stuff, or his things. That's what he's talking about. Because their possessions of his are in two different cities. Yeah. This is what he's telling me, okay?
It's two different houses.
Two different houses. Yes. And we're having a little bit of trouble figuring out these two different houses, these different things going on there, and who's involved with this whole thing, okay? Hold on. Let me tell you something. Before he passes over, there's problems in this family. I'm telling you right now. He's telling me it wasn't his death that caused this. He's telling me it happened beforehand. I also will tell you there's either one or two people that got married into the family that someone did not like. Okay? So I don't know who this is, or a spouse of someone that someone does not.
Well, I had a spouse he didn't like.
He didn't like. Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
Very verbal about that, everyone.
Okay. Did he die at home?
No, he was in the water.
Well, basically, it's his hobby.
Okay. Is he fishing or something, or going on the boat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also want to talk to your mom, who's in the audience here, just confirm. Do you have old bottles of his he collected? Like on a shelf somewhere, some old bottles of some sort?
Old cups where they travel. Like they
all right, glass things too, and this sort of thing? You have those? And they have little printing on them or something?
Yeah, like places that they've been, different cities.
And is that on a shelf somewhere in the kitchen or something like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You understand that? All right. And I don't know if your mom hears things at night sometimes when you're home, but you do, don't you? Because it's him. It's him.
I hear a lot of things.
You hear a lot of things. I get that. And who played the baseball team? Who played baseball?
Oh my gosh, that's my dad's grandfather.
Okay.
He played for the
He's a professional
United
baseball.
Negro League, yeah.
Okay, he's professional,
Yeah.
feels like professional baseball.
Yeah.
Okay, he's with him, okay? Got to tell you that, all right?
Yeah, they look just alike, so.
They look just like, okay, good. I know that there was hesitancy in getting married or getting a wedding. There was a wedding which didn't happen because he said it was delayed in the wedding. You understand about that, I bet?
I wanted to wait for this date, but my dad we got married early, and my dad was there, but the wedding didn't happen.
The wedding didn't happen, okay, because there was a delay in the wedding.
My dad married me and my husband, yeah.
Good. I want to talk about the month of October, okay? And I don't know whose birthday is in October. Is that yours?
Yeah.
Okay, because he wants to say, I was with you in October for the birthday. He was there in October for the birthday, okay? Yeah. I want to tell you that he didn't do a lot in his life that he wanted to do. He really wanted to do a lot more than he was able to do. And he really wants me to tell you that life is worth living. And don't waste the time. Don't waste the time with petty things, because now you can't have him to say hello to. Pick up the phone and say hi. And please don't be petty with the siblings, Hold on. Who's meddling? Hold on. I hear you. He's pushing. Boy, is he pushy. I want to talk about a rocking chair. He's talking about a rocking chair that he used to have.
Yeah.
And he used to love to sit on this rocking chair.
Yeah.
And that made him very relaxed.
Yeah.
Okay? I want to tell you that.
Okay.
And did he ever fish? Did you like going fishing?
He lived out there.
He lived out there. And do you have pictures of him with fish?
We have all pictures of him with fish.
Okay, because he's showing me him with like fish, pictures of him with fish.
That's the only time we'll take a picture.
And I see framed pictures of him.
Yeah.
And I want to go like another part of the house, whether it's the garage or it's a room. And I'm in the garage. Is there a picture of him in the garage? Yes, you understand that? And was it with a fish at all? Him holding a fish or something?
They were on a collage.
And don't you have his fishing rods, fishing poles right there too?
Lots of them.
Aren't they in the garage?
Well, they used to be in the garage. I took them out.
Okay, well, they used to be in the garage. Just
They were all in the
confirm,
garage,
validate that they were there. And that was his area he used to go to. To get away, right?
Yeah, I know that look.
Okay, to get away. You know, he's still with you a lot. He's still with you a lot. And you can't think you didn't do enough for him because you did. More than you even know. And I know you knew each other for a long time. It feels like a long time. And you believed in each other when other people didn't. Understand that? And when other people said you shouldn't be together, you shouldn't be together because you're so opposite.
Yep.
And you said, the heck with that. We're going to be together because we know, we recognize in each other this bond that we have. You understand?
Exactly.
And he wants me to confirm that with you. And you're going to find more stuff around your house about him. When you least suspect it, you're going to find things. You're going to find things. Hold on.
The reading with James continues in a moment. Plus, why is this baby crying? And can she get him to stop? That's coming up on Beyond. LaTanya and Tracy are half-sisters who were already embroiled in a family feud when their father's unexpected death shifted painful arguments into high gear. Now, they're hoping their father will be able to finally bring them together. We now return to the studio for the reading with James.
I would like to know, why couldn't we have a better relationship?
Why couldn't you have had a better relationship with your daddy?
Yes.
He doesn't think he did enough. He didn't think he did enough. I know that. He didn't feel he did enough for you. Because he feels like he was with the others. I hear you. And the others in the family he gave all the attention to, and he feels like he didn't give enough to you. This is what he's telling me. He said he's sorry, he's sorry, he's sorry, he's sorry. Did he ever call you his baby? He said, sorry, baby. He said, sorry, my baby. Sorry to my baby. He's calling you his baby.
What I would like to know is, did my father leave any will or anything like that, particularly?
Gotcha. He said, I didn't have no will.
He didn't have no will?
He said, I didn't have no will.
He didn't.
He didn't have no will.
Well,
He didn't have a will. You knew that. He said, you knew what I wanted. You knew what I wanted. I understand that. Got you.
is he
But
okay
what
with
do
that?
Hold on.
with
He says,
that?
I want it fair. He said, they all wants it fair.
Yeah.
He wants it fair.
Exactly.
That's what he wants. He says, I want it fair. And he doesn't want people judging, like, I don't know if your brother says, I get more. You get. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want that? He doesn't want that. And, you know, I got to tell you honestly, and you know this, Mom, I swear to you, this man did not want to get old, and he's very happy where he's at. He's happy he didn't have to suffer. He feels blessed. He feels very blessed that he did not have to suffer.
He didn't never want to suffer.
Ah,
Tell me that.
your father's passed over too, huh? Right behind you.
You're kidding.
Your mom also passed over, right?
Not my mom.
Okay, there's a lady, like a grandmother then, a lady who's like a mother figure to you, okay? I don't know who she is. She's like a mother figure to you, and she's putting a blanket around you.
Jerry's mom. My
She's
husband's
covering
mom.
a blanket all around you, and I think you own one of her blankets.
Oh, yes.
You understand?
Oh, yes.
You own her blanket, and she said, you own my blanket, and she's wrapping you in it, and she said, everything is just fine.
She quilts, and I have about 6 quilts. that she gave me.
Okay, quilted blanket. Well, she wants you to know everything is just fine, and that's what she's trying to convey to you. Okay? You have to understand that, and you better eat better.
Oh.
Stop not eating. You have to eat. You stopped eating, you know? You have to eat.
That's her.
Right? She's like this.
Yep, that's her.
She does that
Point
finger.
that finger. Yeah.
One more you wanted to ask.
My dad has a Harley that he rides he knows, in the parade all the time. I was wondering,
You can keep it if you want. You can keep it if you want. Why
because
don't
I
you
want to
keep it?
ride it.
Why don't you? Good. Yeah, you keep it. That's good for you. Okay, I'll tell her. All right. You can keep it on one condition.
Yes.
You think better of yourself. Every time you get on that bike, you think better of yourself. Say, I love you, Latanya. Yeah? You say that. All right? Promise?
Yes, I
Okay.
promise.
All right, I'll leave you with that. God bless, sweetie.
Latanya, my question, do you get along with Tracy? Do you have a good relationship? How would you describe it?
Well, you know, I always felt that, you know, my stepmother has issue with me, which, you know, we will do more talking about it. But I always felt like, you know, my sister is in between us.
So you feel your sister comes between you and your stepmother?
No, my stepmother come between me and my sister.
Okay. Now, Patty, I'm watching you. You've got your arms crossed. You're listening to your girl speak a little bit. Your reaction to this? Latanya feels that you've kept Tracy from having a closer relationship. How do you feel about that?
I don't think that's accurate.
You
I
don't?
just, they came from 2 different, I was raising Tracy and her mom was raising her. So it's 2 different families, 2 different backgrounds. So it's just, there was no way that they could be together and be raised the same.
He really wants me to tell you that life is worth living, and don't waste the time. Don't waste the time with petty things.
Now, you had a really strong reaction, Latanya, when James said that your father wants it to be a time to get away from being petty. Why was that so strong for you?
Because if you look at it, it is petty, and life is too short. And I just want to get past all the petty things so things can get better. And I just want to get along better.
He said, I didn't have no will.
You know, well,
He said, I didn't have no will.
Well, at the point in our lives, we had an estate planner. We didn't feel necessary to have a will at that point. Jerry and I have always worked hard together, and we felt that if he went before I did, I would take care of things and I would be fair with his kids. And if I went before him, I felt that he would do the same.
What is it you needed to know today, Tracy?
I need to know that my dad was okay. I work every day. I do what I'm supposed to do. I want to make sure that he's still proud of me. That's all I want.
Did you get that today?
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for being here.
Coming up,
He's also saying that he really needs you to touch his feet.
can this woman psychically communicate with babies? Find out next on Beyond.
Emily Love is a single mom with an 8-month-old son who she says was born crying and just never stopped. So I called up a friend, a baby whisperer, to see if she could help Emily finally get a good night's sleep.
My son is Hunter. He's 8 months old, and he's a handful. A typical night for me is waking up probably 8 times on an average. He doesn't sleep well. He cries all night long, keeps me awake constantly, every hour, lots of nights, it's every hour. So basically, I'm exhausted.
Hunter doesn't just cry at night. He cries all day long and for no apparent reason.
I took him to the doctor thinking that maybe it was an earache, gas, maybe colic, and there's never anything wrong with him. They say he's perfectly healthy and fine.
Robin Alexis is a baby whisperer, a person who uses her intuition to communicate with infants. When Robin met up with Emily, she learned firsthand what a challenge little Hunter can be, even before we were finished setting up our cameras.
So the first thing that I do when I'm psychically bonding with an infant is I become centered and calm within myself, and then I set the intention that I want to communicate with the baby. I look at the baby, I talk to the baby, I ask its permission to be able to engage in conversation with it, and then I begin to speak to the baby, and I ask it, you know, why are you crying? And then I start observing the baby. So I'm not just using my intuition, which I regard as the sixth sense. I use all. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay, he clearly likes movement. And he clearly likes sound. And did you wrap him up really tightly in things when he was a baby? Like, you know, put him in a blanket really? How did you used to wrap him up in that blanket? Stages?
I don't think I could keep him.
Okay.
He's constantly moving.
He feels almost like he's caught between stages, like he knows that he wants to get moving, but he knows that he can't, so his temperament gets really frustrated. Oh, and music. Do you play music for him?
Uh-huh.
Okay, what kind of music are you playing?
It's funny, but when we're in the car and we have the radio on, he's particular about the songs.
Yes, he's very, he has an ear
He'll start
for
cry.
music.
Sometimes he'll cry with some songs, and other songs he'll stop.
There's your cue. Gear his movement activities during the day, and then train him to sleep with the music at night. He's also saying that he really needs you to touch his feet. Have you noticed that whether he likes to have his feet touched or not, he does?
It's very
It's
interesting
okay.
because I was very, my feet were very sensitive as a child, and I needed to rub a blanket on the bottom of my feet to go to sleep.
Oh, there you go. Your child's just like you. Okay, now that you know, we together have come up with some tools that work for your son, and you've discovered that you actually did have some insight to him. I just sort of confirmed thoughts that you've had, but you hadn't thought about it long enough to implement it. Do you feel more empowered?
Yes, I'm hoping that these things will help me to actually get him to sleep, and so we both won't be so exhausted.
Yeah. Well, don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, I think sometimes we mothers think that we have to be self-sacrificing. And maybe, you know, decades ago that's what was expected of us. But today's mom can ask for help. So don't be afraid to call me or another woman or man who can be compassionate with you, because you deserve to have someone give you some compassion during these difficult mom times.
Yeah.
Okay?
Great, thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you. It's a privilege meeting both of you.
I'm looking forward to the day that I can call the show and tell you guys that Hunter is now calm, quiet, sleeping like a baby.
The first thing that I do when I'm psychically bonding with an infant is I become centered and calm within myself, and then I set the intention that I want to communicate with the baby.
The baby whisperer
Right.
was brought in to calm the baby. well,
Yeah.
I don't know if I need a baby whisperer to, you
But it
pick
does
the baby
work.
up. Maybe the baby's hungry. Maybe he needs his diaper to be changed.
I think on a certain level, though, they're communicating spirit to spirit. So I think that's really what we're talking about here.
As long as you get a good night's sleep, right?
That's all that matters. Let that baby be quiet now. I think
Whatever you want, kid.
If you listen, I've been with babies before and they're crying, and I will try to communicate, even with animals, and I'll try to communicate with them, and I've seen changes. The baby will stop or the animal calms down.